Rolling around this direction, and with our door cars, you've been called back to the staging lanes for round number 4. Door cars, you've been called back to the staging lanes for round number 4. And dragsters, we're going to call you back as well. So dragsters, round number 4, come on back to the staging lanes, please. Dragsters, round number 4. Need to get you back into the staging lanes, please. Gary Williams, you are the potential buy. Gary Williams, we've got you down as the potential buy. So Raider Campbell, Bruce Lieberman, you got packages in the tower. Still looking for those, I believe, 9-inch Ford axles, 33 spline for Raider Campbell. I don't believe that's what's going to be in the package up here in the tower, but if it is, wow, man. That would be like really thinking ahead. So I think we're still looking for those. But no box. Last 2 are these 2. Bug McCarty and Lee Zane. Bug on the left side, Lee on the right side. And as they've been racing in those positions pretty much all day, Lee liking the right side. Bug's liking the left side. 611 the dial in for Bug in the station wagon. And 596 the dial in for Lee Zane as we're off and away on the green. Final 2 cars. Who's going to be the one that advances out of the no-box drivers? It's going to be Lee Zane. Bug McCarty fouled out, went red by 21 thousandths of a second as Lee Zane, 24 green, and then goes 596.0 on a 596 to pick up the win in advance. He'll join up with the rest of the Super Pro cars here in just a little while. But round number 4, door cars and dragsters, you've been called back to the lanes, please. So we have decided that it's going to be Lee Zane. I mean, we really haven't decided. He decided by racing his way through the no-box category that he will be the one that will advance out of the category. And again, as we move deeper into the weekend with that JEGS no-box category, starting tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, there is going to be a little cash bonus thanks to the folks at JEGS for the last remaining no box driver each day. Thursday's $500, Friday's $1,000, Saturday's $500. Also, as we move into the rest of the weekend, things are really going to start heating up as far as those round money, as far as the round prizes for the best losing package. Of course, we'll start tomorrow with round number 1. It'll be the Fab Shop round number 1. We've got 3 sets of the Gen 3 polished and stainless steel dragster headers that we're going to be giving away, 1 each day. We'll have complete Pro Light Sparco fire suits we're going to be giving away, courtesy of the folks at Biondo Racing Products in round number 2. 3 race converters from ATI for each of the days. So it's, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and more. But we're going to get through some Hoosiers, some FTI, Goodyear Autometer, all jumping back on board to be part of that. But again, with the Yukon Gear and Axle, $15,000 to win Wednesday, coming down to round number 4. We'll start getting into it tomorrow with the Get 'em Garage Thursday. We'll got Strange Engineering Friday, and then Weisco Pistons Saturday. We are starting to get some of the Super Pro door cars and dragsters back into the staging lanes for round 4. It won't be too long before we start putting everybody on a ladder and racing together. Yes, boo-boo, I am. That's why I'm shoving my face full of French fries right now. That was mean. So as we make our way into round number 4, Brian Reclitus, you've got the provisional buy in the Dragster here in round number 4. So, Brian Reclitus, you've got the bye here in round number 4. I apologize, but I'm a little hungry, and they bought me a cheeseburger and some French fries from over there at the Whole Shot Cafe. This stuff's good. If you're feeling hungry, you should get over there, too. They make good fries. Like really good fries. How do you guys not have people, like, breaking down the door when this place isn't even open? I'm just saying, those are awesome. French fries, you want some? All right, so into round number 4 with the door cars, starting things off with Mr. BTE Chance Likens. And his Sirocco dialed in at 598. Brandon Lowe in the Mustang dialed in at 651. Separate the 2 in reaction time. It was a 006 bulb for Chance and a 008 light for Brandon. Brandon, 008, takes 6th down with the stripe, and then goes dead on 2. Puts up a total of a 10-pack, taking 6th down at the far end of the racetrack against Chance Likens, who was 008 on the tree and 1 above. So Likens in the Sirocco falls out of competition here in round number 4. We're going to bring up the Greenwood, South Carolina-based Camaro, and Nathan Lilly. Ooh, another of those trip-zip bulbs goes down. The Camaro was trip-zip perfect on the tree. Nathan Lilly, 007, taking 2 thou at the stripe, and then goes on to a dead-on 8. So a 15-pack taking 2 thou at the stripe. Now, Nathan Lilly on to round number 5 as lead desist, and Tommy Platt going to be the next 2. Hey, Chance Likens, coming up here to the tower and see me. I got something you want back. Chance Likens coming to the tower and see me. 6:23 for lead assist, 5:16 the dial in for Tommy Plott. Identical reaction times, both of them 15 green. As Tommy, 5:17 on the 5:16, gets the win light. Lead assist, 6:27 on the 6:23. And Michael Beard, you're seeing the same pattern I am, aren't you? Don't hand me a trip zip perfect light, because those things aren't surviving. Be like, yeah, I'm trip zip. Oh, crap. Now I'm not. I'm with you, Mike. No, Mr. Beard. 6:63 for Eddie Humes, 5:71 for Vinny Domino. As Vinny leaving second, doing the chasing. Ernie Humes giving up a bunch in reaction time and pays for it big time. Vinny Domino, 008, 5:73. On a 5:71 for Vinny D. Advancing to round number 5 is Jarrett Creech and Tim Fletcher. Going to be the next 2. Just in case, again, Chance, if you didn't hear it, Chance Likens. Coming up here to the tower and see me in the announcer booth. I got something you want back. So it's Jarrett dialed 581, Tim Fletcher dialed 615. Garrett throws it away for red. Tim Fletcher, 009, 6:12 on a 6:15. He's on to round number 5. As Creech goes 582 on the 581, but he was early on the tree by 0.04 of a second and then ended his morning. Once again, Dragster's round number 4. He said questioning because he's losing count already on Wednesday. But Jared Creech, 004 red, is Nathan Jacobson and Randall Blinson. Jacobson in the 79 Camaro. Randall Blinson in the 65 Mustang. Greg, I don't know if they deliver. Especially not that far. Between the two in reaction time. Randall Blinson is in control, and then it's going to be Nathan Jacobson who steals it away at the stripe. 39 green, takes a 6th thou stripe to be dead on 8. Randall Blinson ends up 200 above the dial-in, 27 on a 25, and he's behind that 6th thou. Down at the finish line, so Jacobson in the 79 Camaro. Making laps, going rounds. As Jeremy York and Philip Truitt. Truitt in the Malibu, Jeremy in the S10 pickup truck, the House Mouse. So a 529 dial in for Jeremy, 666. The dial in for Philip Truitt. As Truitt going to roll in here, and Cowboy already won the final call on the Dragsters. Jeremy York, 16 green, and on his way out as Philip Truitt, 21 on the tree, and then 668 on a 666. But Jeremy, the House Mouse, got a little hungry at the stripe. Takes 28 thou and needed to take 26 thou or less. Breaks it out 2 thou. 528 on a 529. So Philip Truitt gets the win and moves on as Jason Hoff and Mike Barber going to be the next two. And hopefully somebody was able to hook up Cowboy to keep him happy. Throughout the rest of the night. So once again, just a reminder, Dragsters, we have put out that final call again as we're getting down later in the rounds. They're getting shorter and quicker and shorter and quicker each and every time. Mike Barber, 009, taking 10 thou at the stripe and ends up dead on 5. Rob Leipzig and Harold Bell. Bell dialed 548, Rob dialed 529 as they were identical in reaction time. Harold 003 taking a 2 thou stripe, 50 on a 48 gets the win. Rob Leipziger 003 on the tree as well, and then goes 531. On the 529 is Nick Womack. Going to bring out his 92 Beretta. Once again, Dragsters, you have received your final call. You know where you are needed to be. And Gary Williams is needing to be headed on out as he was 2 thou on the red side. Nick Womack, 11 green, 551 on a 552, gets the win over on the left side. Gary Williams, 584 after he was 2 thou on the early side, runs it out the back and finds out that he was holding a couple. As Franklin DeBartolomeo and Milton Thomas. Thomas? Who that is? It is. The dart. 579 the dial in for Milton. Milton's in a world of hurt. Frankie, 006. Milton Thomas's reaction time started with a 2. And Franklin's not going to let that one sneak by. So 660 on a 653. DeBartolomeo picks up the win line. Advances to round number 5 as Milton ends up running dead on 9. And I promise you that should garner a deposit in the swear jar, because I'm sure he was an unhappy and unsatisfied individual, especially when he gets his time slip and looks at it and goes, "You got to be kidding me." So Scott Tate and John LeBouse going to be our first pair of dragsters, as John is still in both dragsters. And since we are starting dragsters, I'll do it one more time. I'll sneak one in there. Last call, final dragster. Last and final call dragster. The dragsters, we do need you back into the staging lanes, please. Last and final call for the dragsters. It's LeBouse down 476. Scott Tate down 531. Scott, 13 green, taking a thou down at the finish line. They were separated by a thou at this end, as Scott Tate ends up 17 thou above his dial-in. Johnny LeBouse is 19 thou above his dial-in. Comes down to 16 ten-thousandths of a second. Advantage and win goes to Scott Tate. Tate moving on to round number 5 as Bobby Spence and Paul Skinger. Skinger out of Middleton, New York. 462 the dial-in. Bobby Spence is down at 433. He's got the left side. That's Bobby. Right side, that's Paul. Did you get your Blizzard, Cowboy? Oh. All right, Cowboy, so tell me who brought it to you so that we can thank them. Oh, well, on behalf of all of us here at the Spring Fling staff and the racers that are going to continue on through the rest of the weekend, for the very nice, sweet lady who brought Cowboy his Blizzard, we thank you, because that's going to keep him happy, and we're not going to have to listen to him. I mean, we're going to love to work with him the rest of the night. Shannon Woodring, 461 dial-in. She's got the car over on the left side. Mason Gross goes 477. Okay, maybe it's not, because now he's just going to sit there and talk about it all night on the radio. That is awesome. So Shannon Rodring going to get the win on a double breakout. She was 009, taking 6 thou at the stripe and under a thou as she gets to the far end. Mason Gross, 476 on a 477. He's under 7 thou. And it's going to be Shannon Woodring as he picks up the win line and advances. So Shannon going to take his car into the next go-round as Kevin Heffington and Sean Smithdale. 477. Kevin Heffington, 467. Advantage on the tree went to Kevin. The win line's going to go to Sean. Kevin was 12 green. Sean was 25 on the green side. Sean runs it down to be dead 2, taking an 11,000 stripe and picking up the victory. As Kevin Heffington had the 12 bulb and then ends up 2 above, as he's 469 on a 467 and 11,000 behind at the stripe. So Sean Winner is Tom Dauber and Chad Taylor. Going to be the next two. Chad, 449 dial in. Tom Dauber, 480 the dial in. This one's done at this end. Tom Dauber, red 8 thou. Chad, 001 and 448. Down at the far end of the racetrack, Tom, who did a little practicing in the stripe driving realm, tightened it up to 6 10,000ths. Right, we're just saying that. But 448 on a 449 for Chad Taylor after he was at 001 on the green side, picking up the victory as Turtle Brandon and Brendan George. Going to be the next two. And again, remember, we are starting to really kick through the go-rounds as we make our way through the rest of the evening. What is it, 7:30 here now? Give or take? Yeah. Give or take, so 7:30. As the win light, finally. How about Trip Zip Perfect Bulb getting the win? 480 on a 480. That thing was like the kiss of death for the longest time here today. Be like, oh, you're Trip Zip. People were like, no. But dead on 9 for Brendan George gets a win light that time as Turtle Brandon goes 39 on the tree and dead on 9 at the far end. Kellen Farmer and Matt Ricklitis. Ricklitis, 464. Kellen Farmer, dialed 475. Matt was 27 green. Kellen was 001 and dead on 9. The 001 takes 11 at the stripe for a 10-pack. Holds on for the win is Matt Ricklitis, 463 on a 464. He's done. Calls it a day as Troy Williams and James DeChaco. DeChaco out of Hopewell, New York, 444. Lining up over on the right side, Troy Williams. Lines up on the left, dialed in at 474. I'm going to get about 0.3 of a second difference between the two, and then we're going to turn them loose. And it looks like we are down towards the end of our dragsters, unless they're just hiding out behind the grandstands like they do, and then they come popping out. Boo. We'll see. Troy, 003 red. James DeChaco winning. So DeChaco, 016 on the green side and 443 at 155 miles an hour for James. Troy Williams, we mentioned just a moment ago, missed the tree by 0.003 of a second, and that's going to bring up Jeff Dobbins and Vince Schroeder. Schroeder, out of Pennsylvania, dialed 463. Jeff Dobbins dialed 471. Well, I guess round number 4 is where we turn things around, and if you were Trip Zip, now you can start winning. As Jeff Dobbins, Trip Zip, 471 on a 471. He's dead 5. Taking a 17th stripe as Wesley Washington and Adam Beauchamp. Going to be the next two. Beauchamp, 446 dial in. Wesley dialed 444. Sorry. Those French fries are good. Adams 007 to Wesley Washington's 019, and he's going to be one above for the win. The 007, Wesley Washington, takes the stripe a thou and breaks it out 3 thou to Adam Beauchamp for the win after he was 007. Wesley was 19 green. And nothing he could do with that as Beauchamp. On to round number 5. John Budakowski is going to be my best effort at that. I've said it 3 or 4 times today, and still trying to figure out if that's right or not. But Will Holloman out of Four Oaks, North Carolina, 481. Will's going to be the one to leave first, or should be anyway. $13,000 the advantage to Will Holloman as he's going to go dead 0. How about 10 on the tree, taking 1 thousandths down at the stripe to be dead on 0. John Budakowski is 454 on a 456, so Holloman advances. And with Jake Woodring and Dan Fletcher, going to be the next 2. Dan, 488 dial in. Jake, 463. Jake left side, Dan right side. Dan Fletcher, 490 on the 488 dial-in, had a 12 thou reaction time for the win as Jake Woodring ends up 64 and a 63 after he was 40 green, and that is going to bring up Shane Maddox and Cameron Manuel. Cameron right side dialed 446, Shane left side dialed 457. Cameron Manuel by 8 thousandths of a second. Going to get the win light. He was 12 on the tree and then 456 on a 445 on a 446. Under by 4 thousandths of a second. Shane Maddox goes 456 on the 457. Both under the dial by 4 thou. It comes down to that 8 thou difference between the two in reaction time. There's Jeremy York and Jeff Serra. Jeff, who's got the 457 showing up on the Advanced Auto side of the scoreboard, and Jeremy York in the orange Dragster, 465. Gently, Jeff Serra nudges it up into the beams, turns it loose. They're separated 4 thousandths in a second. Advantage was to Jeff Serra, and he's going to get that win light as well. 14, take 4 thou at the stripe, and dead on 6, 57 on a 57 for Jeff Serra. Jeremy York was 18 and dead on 6. So both drivers dead on their dial with a 6 in the little number column, and separated by 4 thou in reaction time. Wins going to go over to Jeff Serra. Over to round number 5 he'll go as Martin Dabney and Bug McCarty. Going to be the next 2. Bug, who had to go pop on the starting line last time and then snap and crackle as he's dialed 475. Marty Dabney goes 461, and you know, Bug, who's kind of exercising that every once in a while you need a lucky round. Well, he got it. His car popped on the starting line, and the other driver went red. opportunity to come back. Ooh. Again, one of those deals where, you know, Marty Dabney had given up 0.04 of a second advantage in reaction time. Buck McCarty ends up running down, taking 55 thou at the stripe and breaking out 73 on a 75. Dabney is 60 on a 61, and Dabney gets the win. So Marty Dabney picks up the victory over on the left side. I'll bring up Vinny Domino and Johnny LaBouse. So John dialed in at 463, Vinny dialed in at 465. Hey, door cars, we're going to take you back for round number 5. Door cars, round number 5. We're going to get you back into the staging lanes, please. Door cars, round number 5. Go ahead and start making your way back to the lanes. Door cars, round number 5. Come on back, please. Vinny trying to hold off Johnny LaBouse, and down at the finish line, nope. Not going to happen. 15 green, 463 and a 463 for John. It looks like we are going to wrap up round number 4 with a solo shot. Brian Reclitus. Brian out of Pittstown, Pennsylvania. We know that one of the 2 Reclitus machines will move on. Goes 39 green, and then 453 down to the far end of the racetrack. So door cars, round number 5. Door cars take you back into the state.
Just kind of a rush of emotions came over me. I knew it was really close, and I wasn't real sure I'd killed enough. And just kind of one of those where you look up at the scoreboards guessing and hoping. And when light came on, and it was just kind of a flood of emotion. I think anytime I accomplish anything big in this sport, the first thing I think of is my dad, just because he got me into it. He's been gone 16 years now, but whenever I accomplish something I know he would be proud of, he's always the first thing that comes to mind. This was the last thing on my bucket list, so to speak. I mean, as crazy as that sounds, I've won Indy, I've won the Jags All-Stars, like you said, won a couple of championships, accomplished more in this crazy game than I'd ever dreamed of. Pay off a mortgage. We're going to go enjoy the suite. I'm probably not racing tomorrow, so it's going to be good.
Air. I need it, you need it, and sometimes tools and vehicles need it. And when they do need it, why not get it from a lightweight, portable aluminum tank instead of some old heavy, clunky steel one? JEG's premium portable aluminum air tanks feature a smooth satin aluminum construction, and they're 50% lighter than steel tanks of identical capacity. They come in 3 different sizes, 2 of them configured horizontally and the other one vertically. They each have a maximum pressure rating of 125, and they each come with a gauge, a 36-inch hose with an air chuck, a pressure relief valve for storage, and a handy-dandy handle, so they're easy to tote around. Whether you're at the track, in the garage, in the house, or even on the farm, don't let your baby suffocate. Give them some air, man, with these premium portable aluminum air tanks from JEG.
2017 by veteran product specialists Mike Laws and Trevor Wiggins at the urging of racers and industry colleagues. The company is dedicated to partnering with racers and industry experts to deliver innovative carburation solutions designed to re-engineer high-performance engine. And make them a part of your build. Thanks again to Yukon for being a sponsor of the K&N Spring Fling presented by Optima. Are you looking for that big bore kit to hop up your pit bike? Or maybe a nitrous piston for your hot rod? Look no further than Wiseco Performance Products. Whether you need components for your daily driver or 3,000 horsepower twin turbo monster, Wiseco has you covered. One name, one solution. Wiseco. Get them before they get you. Strange Engineering has been the leader in driveline, suspension, and brakes for over 50 years. From street cars to top fuel dragsters and everything in between, Strange has evolved its product line to handle the most demanding of applications. Remember, don't just race, race Strange. Kook's Headers and Exhaust's goal is to strive for excellence and manufacture the highest quality performing products in the industry with the latest technology and materials available. In the end, we deliver not just a bunch of tubes welded together, nor an exhaust with a muffler and a shiny tip. We deliver designed, engineered, and manufactured components over 50 years of dedication and passion into the craftsmanship of what we do. And remember why every Kook's Headers and Exhaust product manufactured is not just a set of headers. At FTI Performance, we're proud to be associated with a top-notch event like the K&N Spring Fling presented by Optima. Dedicated to the racer, our commitment to the best customer service in the industry is what separates us from the rest. Join the FTI family and join a list of winners who depend on the power and reliability of FTI to get to the winner's circle. Visit us, ftiperformance.com, today. RacePack is the proud sponsor of the RacePack Bounty Award at this year's K&N Spring Fling presented by Optima. A Sportsman data logger will be awarded to the driver who beats Wednesday's winner during the Thursday 20K to win race. Use RacePack data and stop guessing. Fab Shop is proud to give away 3 sets of headers. One set on Thursday, another on Friday, and round it out for Saturday. They go to the best losing package first round. Please keep us in mind for all your dragster header needs. More and more bracket racers are relying on Mickey Thompson tires to help them get to the winner's circle. From the big Bubba to the little Bubba, Mickey Thompson has a tire to fit every application. Are you looking for a new chassis, or maybe someone who understands what you need for your current race car? Then check out Race Tech Race Cars and Components. Race Tech Race Cars, for winners only. A proud sponsor of the Spring Fling.
All right, at this time, we'll take dragsters. Dragsters, we'll take you now for round number 5. Jeff Dobbins, you are the potential buy. Jeff Dobbins, you are the potential buy. Jeff Dobbins in his dragster. Jeff Dobbins in his dragster. Dragster number 9029. You are the potential buy. All right, so here we go. Round number 5. Pair of door cars as we start round number 5 with the door cars. Nathan Jacobson and Philip Truitt. Jacobson dials the Camaro at 655. Philip Truitt, 667. Truitt 006, looking good in the 78 Malibu. Truitt turns on the win light. 006, 2 above, 669 with a 1 on a 667. Nathan Jacobson was 031, tried to get there, did get there, but broke out doing it. Took 24 at the stripe. Broke out by 14th, 24th thou. Going to bring up Nick Womack and Nathan Lilly. Nathan Lilly looking good. He's got 200s to work with. Uses it down there. 200th advantage on the start. Takes 15 thou. Shuts him out. Nathan Lilly coming back to round number 6. And here's your All right, so that's going to bring up our no box last man standing. Lee Zane mixing it up now with the top overs. How about Franklin DiBartholomew and Lee Zane? Zane bumping it in off the foot brake. Franklin's off the top. He's off. Here comes Lee Zane. Wow. Lee Zane's 0-3 off the foot and leaves second, but turns on the win light. How about Trip Zip? That's 3 zeros. Franklin DiBartholomew leaves the line perfect, takes 14, breaks out by 25. Lee Zane was 0-3 off the foot, 14th thou under. Lee Zane coming back. Going to bring up Timothy Fletcher and Brandon Lowe. Tim Fletcher, that's Dan's son. That's Donna's son. That's Thomas's brother. 614 dialing, and Brandon Lowe, 649. Give the win to Fletcher. Automatic winners, Brandon Lowe drops it 4th out red. Fletcher, 26 on a tree, 611 on a 614, holding a couple. Once again, dragsters for round number 5 to the stage lanes. Wow, how about Vinny Domino and Mike Barber? These two guys could have duked it out at home at New Media Dragway. But instead, they're on the East Coast edition of the Spring Fling, and it's round 5, and they're going head-to-head. Vinny 571, the Domino family tuned in at home. Shout out to Little Vince, and Mike Barber, 618. Barber in the Mustang has the reaction time advantage and turns on the win light. Wow. Barber was 8th thou under. Big Vin was 8th thou under. Barber had the better reaction time. Barber picking up the win. Going to bring up Tommy Plott and Harold Bell Jr. The hitches keep on coming. Plott, 516 dialing, the beautiful Mustang. Put that Mustang in the winner's circle at the Spring Fling in Bristol a few years ago for $50,000. And Harold Bell Jr. in the Nova. Both drivers good green, one driver very, very good green. Give the win to Harold Bell Jr. 002, 551 on a 550. Tommy Plott, not a bad run, 11 on a tree. Took 14th thou to break out 7th thou. Good lap, but needed to take 7th thou or less. So it looks like that's going to end the door car session of round number 5 as we'll get the dragsters loaded up. So if you're a dragster and you're in round 5, bring it up to the lanes. We're pulling them out. If you're a dragster and you're in round 5, let's bring it up. I believe we're missing one dragster. All right, so all dragsters are here. And here goes the dragster part of round 5. And we got a good one right off the bat. Scott Tate, Johnny LaBouse. Tate, another one of those New Media drivers in the X-Mark Siegel dragster. That was 532. I believe Scott Tate actually took out Johnny LaBouse in LaBouse's other car. He could take out Johnny LaBouse twice within a half hour. That would be pretty impressive. Johnny LaBouse, 462. He's driving Anthony Bertozzi's dragster. Lost in his other dragster about 40 minutes ago to Scott Tate. They're going to battle out again here in round number 5. Well, I'm not too sure what's going to happen. Loose Caboose has 12th thou to work with. The hood scoop was rocking and win light to Loose Caboose. Both drivers dead on the number. Johnny LaBoost 009 goes dead on with an 8, taking 8th thou down there, down about 6 or 7 mile an hour. Scott Tate dead on a dial, 021 reaction time. All right, how about Gainesville, Florida, Brendan George? He says that Dragster is for sale. It's for sale, no R in that, just for sale. Fosale. Hitter from Florida, 480 dialing, and Sean Smithiel. As the sun goes down and starts to cool off a little bit, a beautiful night here at Galot Motorsports Park. Running for 15K. And how about dead on with a 0 for Brendan George? Both drivers within, how about dead on with a 0 and 3 thou under? But Brendan had him from end to end. He was 10. He was dead on with a 0 and he got there first, took 7 thou. Sean, 20 on a tree, 3 thou under and behind. So Brendan was in control of that from start to finish. That will bring up the next pair of dragsters. Great matchup again. Bobby Spence and Jimmy DeChacco. They call him slow roll DeChacco, but don't leave him much room on the track because he'll make you pay for it. Excellent drag racer. Know Jimmy for a long time. 443 dialing, and Bobby Spence 433. So Jimmy, not used to leaving first, not used to looking over his shoulder at 443. We'll see what happens here. Some familiar faces here in the tower. Pretty cool stuff. So Spence 433, Jimmy DeChacco 443. DeChacco, he's looking over his shoulder. He makes it happen. DeChacco 17, dead on with the 443 on a 443 again. Both drivers dead on the dial. Spence missed it a little bit. Was 038, 433 with a 4 on a 433, 161 mile an hour. Wow, how about 151 to 161 mile an hour bracket racing at the 8th mile? Jimmy DeChacco puts up a 21 thou pack. He'll be moving on. And Brian Reklitis, former New Media track champion, and Will Holloman. We saw Vinny Domino go out earlier, won a bunch of rounds today in both his entries, and multi-time New Media track champion. He battles it out with the Reklitis family up at New Media. Hope my buddy Robert's listening at home. Reklitis has won. Reklitis makes it happen. Holloman, a little bit late on the dial, but when you give a guy 3.5 hundreds to work with, Brian Reklitis, former track championship winner at New Media Dragway, is going to make you pay for it. He's 15. Takes 17, 455 at 145. Nice lap right there for Reklitis. Shannon Woodring and Marty Dabney. Marty, the hitter from Troy, Virginia, 460 dialing. His tree will blink down 100th before Shannon Woodring's 459. Dabney looking good. Dabney makes it happen. Dabney's 003 gets there first by 18 thou. Down some speed, so he was working the throttle down there. 003, 461 on a 460 is good that run, as Shannon Woodring's 027, 460 with a 0 on a 459. Good matchup right here. Jeff Serra, who won a Race Tech last night, versus Mr. Race Tech Jr., Kellen Farmer. That's Russ's son. They own and operate Race Tech chassis. Kellen dials 475. Jeff Serra driving the Withrow Dragster. He is on a roll. He won last night. He's looking to cash in for a big check tonight. 457. What's up, Motor Mania? Tuned in? Not this time. Kellen Farmer, 005 takes 007. That's doing your job at both ends to go 1 over with a 0. He's 005, 1 over with a 0, 15th out package. Sarah with 16 drops hard to go 1 over his dial. Is Adam Beauchamp, another new media runner. So the new media driver is showing up strong here in round number 5. 445 dialing. Chad Trailer, beautiful looking dragster. 2016 Max Sherrill dragster, dials 447. So some pretty fast dragsters here late in the round number 5, as we have one good matchup after the next. As I look over into the water box. Line, he was 002. How about a 3-pack? How about a 3-pack for Flavor Flav? Chad Trailer's 002, dead on with a 1. Beauchamp was also dead on with a 1, but his 18 light put him 16 behind at the hit, and that was the margin of victory. How about Dan Fletcher and Cameron Manuel? Fletcher, multi-time national event winner. Multi-time world champion. Cameron Manuel does not need an introduction either. He has won many big races. Him and his family travel up and down the East Coast. Like I said earlier, I wish I could be at the finish line for this one. 445 for Manuel. Dan gets thrown in the left lane. Dials 488. We'll see what happens. Fletcher drops him hard. Fletcher's 008, 2 above. Manuel's 016 takes 20 and goes 8 thou under. How about Fletcher? 490 at 128 miles an hour. That was pretty spooky, Nate. Now we'll bring up our buy car. Jeff Dobbins is second. Dobbins was 000, dead on with a 5 to earn the buy. See what he does here. Moves over to the right lane. Says, I know what I could do in the left. Let me try it in the right.
We've been in Bristol in the spring for 8 years. We love this facility. We love the racers here, but we want to try to get in a month that was drier. And we decided to move it to the fall. We decided to present the fall fling here in September at Bristol.
Every year, no matter what, even, when I work, I have it set up, scheduled where I know the dates in advance, so I'll be here.
I've been to a couple of spring flings down at Galot and here last year. This place is amazing, and Kyle and Peter do a really good job of putting things together. It's just a great time.
Grew up racing back north, and always, a fan of racing. And just, it's a good race to come to tell you the truth. You might say this might be the new South race where we used to go Florida races and stuff. They put on a good event. They have to try it, at least experience it at least once.
Prizes is great. Always the sponsorships that people bring in, and the prize is just awesome. I mean, it's worth running for the free drawings. Well ran, it's not drug out. They put you in the water box, you get down the racetrack. Get to the fling, get you some prizes, get some big money.
There seemed to be a very good buzz about everyone coming to the Bristol in the fall, and here we are. We almost got 400 cars the first year, and we're super excited. We love bringing our customers to a premier facility. We're trying to bring a atmosphere to where all of our racers are racing for big money, they're having fun, and we try to give them the smoothest running.
Air. I need it, you need it, and sometimes your tools and vehicles need it. And when they do need it, why not get it from a lightweight, portable aluminum tank instead of some old heavy, clunky steel one? Jegs premium portable aluminum air tanks feature a smooth satin aluminum construction, and they're 50% lighter than steel tanks of identical capacity. They come in 3 different sizes, 2 of them configured horizontally and the other one vertically. They each have a maximum pressure rating of 125, and they each come with a gauge, a 36-inch hose with an air chuck, a pressure relief valve for storage, and a handy-dandy handle, so they're easy to tote around. Whether you're at the track, in the garage, in the house, or even on the farm, don't let your baby suffocate. Give them some air, man, with these premium portable aluminum air tanks from Jegs.
What do Luke Bagaki and Edmund Richardson have in common? Well, they recently both won NHRA World Championships using their American race cars as their dragster of choice. Call Mark Horton and the racers at American or visit www.americanracecars.net. How would you like to have champion racers you know and trust to handpick the best products in the industry for you and your vehicle? With 25 years in the business and 8 NHRA World Championships, Sal and Peter Biondo of Biondo Racing Products will get you the right parts at the best prices, along with unmatched racer-friendly advice. From safety equipment to electronics and everything in between, call the racers at Biondo or visit BiondoRacing.com. A proud sponsor of the K&N Spring Fling Million presented by Optima is giving away a set of heads in both Bristol and Vegas to the best package runoff winner. Strength, durability, and power are just a few factors that make Brodex the best in the industry. Proudly made in the USA for over 50 years, Brodex utilizes state-of-the-art technology and continued research and development to bring you the best in the industry. Goodyear Tires, a proud sponsor of the K&N Spring Fling presented by Optima. If you're looking for the round-by-round consistency needed to be a Spring Fling champion, choose the tire that NHRA world champions like Justin Lamb and Peter Biondo choose. Choose Goodyear Tires. A proud sponsor of the K&N Spring Fling presented by Optima. Autometer is the brand that champions depend on to keep them running at their best. Check out the complete line of gauges and data acquisition solutions at autometer.com. Power, precision, passion, Autometer. Founded in 1990, BTE Memphis Performance is a manufacturer and distributor of high-performance automotive racing driveline products and a longtime Spring Fling supporter. Good luck to all the racers this weekend from BTE.
Well, we are getting down to that point of the night where the turnaround times are getting a little bit quicker, and we are also getting down to that point of the night, or we are at that point of the night where we are no longer running our door cars and dragsters separately. We are on a ladder, so the ladder has been generated. We are going to get that back down into the staging lanes, and while the ladder makes its way down there, we are going to call our round number 6 back into the lanes, please. Round 6. We're going to take you back down into the staging lane. So round 6 here on a Yukon Gear and Axle, $15,000 warm-up Wednesday. Looking at getting you back down into the lanes and looking for the following individuals. Still come up here and see Sean in the tower. We've got Cameron Manuel, Jason Lynch, Kenny Underwood, and Brian Hicks making their way, or should make their way up here to the tower to see Sean. Kenny, you've got that $300 gift certificate from the folks at Jones Transmission Cooling Systems. So that $300 gift certificate coming to you as the best losing package in round number 2. And Brian Hicks, you've got one of those Regals fiberglass hood scoops headed your direction as the best losing package in round number 3. So Cameron Manuel, Jason Lynch, Kenny Underwood, and Brian Hicks. Go ahead and make your way up here to the tower to see Sean, please. We're going to get more and more folks back into the staging lanes. And, of course, as it's pushing 8:30 here on the East Coast, getting to be about 5:30 back on the West Coast. And the guy who joined us up in the booth at the Spring Fling Million, Mike Eames, listening in and watching along online. So, Mike, good to have you listening in as we make our way through the first day of competition here. But again, we've called all of our cars back into the staging lanes, please, for round number 6. You are on a ladder. Come on back. Make your way back into the staging lanes. Tomorrow, we're going to get after it at a Get 'em Garage Thursday with $20,000 on the line. So the Get 'em Garage Thursday going to kick off bright and early tomorrow morning. We'll open up the gates at 7 a.m. We'll have our time run at 8 a.m. Of course, we're going to have that as we get things ready to go. Oh, just had the ladder dropped in my hands, and here's what we're looking at for round number 6. First, you got Bell Jr. going on a solo shot as he ends up number 1 on the ladder for now. You got Farmer versus DeChaco. Lee Zane, who was made his way through the no-box ranks, going to be meeting up with Barber. You got Taylor versus Brendan George. You got Truitt versus Lilly. A couple of door cars matching up there. You got Dabney versus Riclitus. Johnny Lavousse versus Dobbins. And Dan Fletcher versus Tim Fletcher. Our pairings here in round number 6. So Fletcher versus Fletcher. Going to be one of those marquee matchups in the 6th go-round. But, wow. With Bell Jr. on a solo. Farmer versus DeChaco. Zane versus Barber. Fletcher versus Fletcher. And then Taylor versus George. Truitt versus Lilly. Dabney versus Riclitus. And Lavousse versus Dobbins. We need all of those drivers back into the staging lanes, please. All of those drivers back into the staging lanes. But, I mean, starting tomorrow when we get after it in the Get 'em Garage Thursday. And we're going to jump right into things, and we really start putting a whole lot out on the board as we draw closer to, of course, that Sparco Racer Appreciation Barbecue. Of course, we're going to have the drawings in every dead-on zero run that happens on Thursday is going to get entered into that drawing that will be taken care of at the Racer Appreciation Barbecue for that Get 'em Garage carburetor of your choice. So tomorrow, if anybody goes dead on zero, win or lose, your name is going to go into a hat and will be drawn out at the Sparco Racer Appreciation Barbecue. Again, did want to say thanks to everybody that's come on board, all of the sponsors that help make this possible. Of course, thanks to Jags and Hoosier for making sure that the live feed is brought to you, courtesy of the folks at Motor Mania TV. And what I want to talk about an awesome production. Multi-camera views, the whole deal. They've got like essentially a production truck on site handling all of the camera switching. And thank you so much to Joanne and her entire team for being out here this weekend and getting things taken care of. We can't thank you enough, and I know that the folks at home watching along in the chat bleachers that couldn't be out here this week are thanking you as well, as we've seen them do that throughout the day. But just again, huge thanks to Jags and Hoosier Tire for making sure that that happens. You know, Farron is on site here this weekend, Mr. Hoosier himself, who is stopping in to spend a little time with the racers, make sure everybody's taken care of. So definitely appreciate that. Of course, thanks to K&N and Optima Batteries, title sponsors of the Spring Fling. Definitely couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much. Of course, Race Tech and American Race Cars, who were sponsors in last night's shootout, where we handed out one of each. And, of course, Jones, who's giving out their $300 gift certificates today. And thanks to Riggiels, thanks to Mickey Thompson, thanks to Biondo Racing Products, ATI, FTI, Goodyear, Autometer, Race Pack, Wiseco Pistons, Alstronics, True Start, Sparco, Brodix. And again, speaking of that, looking at kind of the best overall packages throughout the weekend, or throughout the week, we'll have that door car versus dragster runoff for that set of those SR20 heads, valued at $5,300. Definitely appreciate that. And I think right now, looking at what, like a 1-pack in the dragsters and a 2-pack in the door cars. Yeah, first day. First day. Already tightening up to that. No. Not at all. I couldn't beat 12 of those put together. So it's definitely going to be something we're looking forward to. But I do know that we're getting our dragsters, we're getting our door cars, we're getting everybody back in there for round number 6. So round number 6, make sure you make your way back into the staging lanes, please. Round number 6. Need you back into the staging lanes as we are getting closer to handing out $15,000 worth of Yukon gear and axle money here at Galot. We get things kicked off. Again, looking forward to Thursday with that Get 'em Garage Thursday for $20,000. Of course, the Strange Engineering $50,000 Friday. And then Wiseco with their $20,000 Saturday. Thanks so much to Get 'em Garage, Strange Engineering, and Wiseco for being on board and sponsoring each of our days here at the K&N Spring Fling. And a massive thanks to Yukon Gear and Axle for kicking things off here on our warm-up Wednesday. But we're really looking forward to it. Again, had that pre-entry that sold out in about 4 hours here, and I'm still trying to remember Pete, do we have a date for when we're going to do the pre-entry stuff for Bristol? June 20th. So not too far away. June 20th, we'll actually start taking those pre-entries. And as quickly as Galot sold out, I think there's going to be a lot of people sitting there in front of their computer like June 20th is a Black Friday. They'll have everything queued up, ready to go, and we try to make sure that they get their entry in as quick as possible. So again, June 20th, mark it down on your calendar, put it in your phone. Give yourself a reminder like a week out, and then 3 days out, and then 2 days out. Make sure that you know that as soon as that pre-entry opens, you are ready to go for the Fall Fling in Bristol, as we'll make our return back to the beautiful state of Tennessee. It is the beautiful state of Tennessee. Isn't that the good old Rocky Top? Mm-hmm. Cowboy. Again, I'm going to say thank you to the beautiful young lady who brought you your Blizzard that made you so happy. So it was a nice Sunday. It was beautiful. Really good Sunday. You said it had, what, strawberries in it? And oh, my goodness. You got hooked up, man. Quoting fancy. Oh, Reba McEntire. All right, still missing 6 cars back there. So again, round number 6, missing 6 of you. Need you back into the staging lanes, please. Round number 6, still missing 6 of you. Need you back into the lanes, please. I want to get this thing rolling forward through one more round. We're going to cut it down from the 15 that we have now down to 8 that we'll be bringing back for round number 7. Hey, here's a good announcement. The payout window is open. So if you raced your way into round number 4 and beyond, essentially if you lit up a win light in the 3rd round, I think you need to come up here and see Miss Emily in the payout window. We're going to get you all set. Oh, even Cowboy's going to make a donation to the swear jar. What did you do today that got you having to make a donation? I don't want to know. Apparently, whatever it was before you got your Sunday when you were grouchy. Really? He dropped. Wow. Cowboy dropped a big chunk in the donation jar. That had to have been before you got your Sunday when you were grouchy. Now you're happy again, right? All right, so lesson learned. Tomorrow morning, we'll get Cowboy a Sunday earlier in the day. That'll save him a donation or 2 to the swear jar. Or 20. Ooh. Mike Eames, that is a good little question there. Based on what we saw in Vegas, the question is, with Fletcher and Fletcher being matched up, who's Donna rooting for? I don't think she wants to be put in that position. Because apparently she made the wrong choice in Vegas, but we'll see where we go. I dig Donna. She's awesome people. But again, if Cam Manuel, Jason Lynch, Kenny Underwood, Brian Hicks, if you haven't come up here and seen Sean yet, please do so. But with our round number 6 making its way back into the staging lanes, we got some work to do here before we hand out $15,000. Oh. I love watching what some people say in the chat bleachers. Definitely a interesting little way to introduce yourself. We do need those final few competitors back into the staging lanes, please. Not going to be too much longer before we start pushing folks forward here to the water box. Man, we got a lot of fun ahead of us here this weekend. We got a lot of surprises still coming up, a lot of good prizes to give away out of the prize vault. And that is one of those things. I did get an opportunity to sit down here and talk to Umbrella Man for a little while, and he spends a lot of time going to a lot of the big dollar bracket races, and one of the things that he says impresses him most about being out here at the Spring Fling is pretty much not just the payouts, because, you know, hey, there are other races that do offer a little bit more, but it's the prize vault. $50,000 in prizes that go out the door, and you get so many racers that go home with at least something in their trailer and something to go home with, so it's pretty cool to see that added addition. And, of course, Peter and Kyle spend a lot of time so with Peter and Kyle spending a lot of time, you know, basically nurturing those relationships with all of the vendors that come out here and all of the sponsors that come out here and really make things possible. It's something that we look forward to. I got a question, actually, for a couple of the folks in the chat bleachers. Because I know, like, last year we got out here a little early and a few folks rolled in a little bit later, but kind of curious. I know a lot of folks that were trying to get entered in the race, but especially like George. I saw him running out here last year. George, what happened? Are you going to be coming out here? Did it something come up and it's not going to allow you to get out here or not? For what, man? What? I figured for sure that you might be out here, at least. Well, we'll see. All right, sounds like we're starting to move them forward back there in the staging lane. Should be underway here in just a minute or two. But I do see our buy already at the front of the staging lanes, and just a quick little rundown what that ladder looks like. You got Bell going on the solo, Farmer versus DeChaco, Zane versus Barber, Fletcher versus Fletcher, Taylor versus George, Truitt versus Lilly, Dabney versus Reclitus, and Lavus versus Dobbins. Fletcher v. Fletcher. That one will be interesting. It'll be really. Oh, no. Huh. Oh, I'm sorry, George. I didn't. Shoot. So I'm taking it then, and that means, unfortunately, you're not going to make it. That's a bummer. That's a real bummer. Well, I'll tell you what, I do love coming back to this racetrack, and especially now that they taught Peter how to work the scoreboards. He likes getting down here and switching things over, playing the ads that they put together so well from each and every one of the races. Of course, we've got that wrap-up from last year's race. Got the win from Luke in Vegas. Last year at the Fling, Randall Reed was the one that went home with the big money this year. Kind of looking forward to seeing the recap when they get all that taken care of. And again, do want to remind everybody that Friday morning, if you'd like to participate in a Bible study down there at the Whole Shot Cafe, Godspeed Ministries is going to be down there, and we'll be happy to spend a little time with you at 7 a.m. in the morning. That 30-minute Bible study At 7 a.m., of course, we don't start race until 8:30 on Friday morning, so that'll give you plenty of opportunity. Man, that's a bummer, George. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Vic, you had plans before the dates were announced? Unless your plans were like some 2-week-long cruise with your wife. Maybe it was. That'd be awesome. Or some like massive European vacation. We'll see how that works out. But again, that Bible study Friday morning, 7 a.m., 30 minutes over in the Whole Shot Cafe. Still gives you plenty of time to get back to your car, get it back into the staging lanes, and be ready to go for round number 1 at 8:30 a.m. on Friday. But we'll go from there. And I couldn't agree with you more, Mighty. Everything is better with bacon. Even round number 6 is better with bacon. And speaking of round number 6, they're here. They're here, they're here. And with them being here, we're going to start off with a couple of door cars. Now, the door cars today have been mighty mean. As I've been watching some of the packages that have gone up on the scoreboard from the door cars, I think they've got a pretty good possibility of just wiping the slate clean here tonight. Nathan Lilly and Philip Truitt. Pre-stage bulbs are already lit. Philip out of Maryland, 78 Malibu, dialed in at 668. Nathan Lilly is going to give him the head start as he's dialed in at 562. Nathan Lilly's car coughs on the starting line. He's going to pull it over. Just past 200 feet down the racetrack. Philip Truitt, 679 on a 668, was 22 on the tree, but Lilly's car had a flash that came out from underneath of it as he left the starting line. And again, based kind of on the delay that we'll see here, I got to watch it again right now on the Spring Fling vision, and at least from this side of the car, you could see the flash on that Spring Fling vision. Couldn't quite see the flash as brightly, but 679 for Philip Truitt on a 668, and they're looking underneath the car, and it sounds like he may need a little help. To get back off the racetrack, and unfortunately for Nathan Lilly in the Camden, North Carolina-based car, not quite going to be able to get off the track under his own power, and somebody has walked off with my pen. So I'm going to need a new one. Oh, there we go. See, these guys are like on the spot. Hooked up and ready. And just kind of a friendly little reminder of how we do the ladders here at the Spring Fling. Each and every round, the ladders get reset. So essentially, it's not like once the ladder's set, you race your way all the way down. The next round, they're going to go back, and based on performance from the previous round, those ladders will get reset. Of course, they'll take a close or keep a close eye on cars that have already had a bye or may have already run on a solo shot here today. They'll take that into account as the ladder gets set up for the next go round. But Philip Truitt advancing, and unfortunately Lilly making it to this point of the night. One of those good news, bad news things where you got a little bit of time before we go racing again tomorrow morning. Bad news is here in round number 6, you're going to bow out. Speaking of kind of good news, just want to remind the racers that the payout window is open. So if you'd like to come up here and see Emily, if you have earned your way into the payable spots here on the ladder today, They want to get you taken care of early tonight. That way, when it comes down to the end of the weekend, they don't have kind of that long line that stretches all the way down the stairs and out the back of the tower, and everybody's kind of going, hey, I'd really love to get a check. I'd really love this. I'd really love that. We can take care of that tonight. If you want to come on here to the tower, is Brendan George and Chad Taylor. So we went from door car versus door car to dragster versus dragster. Chad Taylor out of Virginia, 447. Brendan George coming in out of Florida, dialed in at 479. They both leave on the green side. Brendan George is in control of this one as Brendan goes all the way down to the stripe and dead on 9 or dead on 8. 17th thou on the green side, dead 8 for Brendan George was 17 on the reaction clocks as Chad Taylor had an 044 light and then goes dead 9, 47 on a 47. So Brendan George getting there first and advancing. As the next two already lining up, Mike Barber and Lee Zane. So again, door car versus door car, dragster versus dragster, and now it's door car v door car again. Lee coming out of the no box category, dialed in at 595. Mike Barber's got a 617 number up on his side of the scoreboard. Barber, 009, taking 7th thou at the stripe in the Ford Mustang. Puts up the 009 to take care of the no box competitor in Lee Zane. With Barber with a 009. Best of the bunch so far in reaction time. It's going to bring up Jeff Dobbins and John LaBouse. Huh. Looking a lot like how all the pairs are matching up. Dragsters and door cars and door cars. John's dialed 462. Jeff Dobbins is dialed 471. The Wilmington, North Carolina-based player on the left side. And the White House, Tennessee-based runner on the right side. Jeff Dobbins had the 16th thou reaction time, which was better than Johnny's 023 light, but LaBouse goes down to another dead-on run, 62 on a 62, taking 15th thou at the stripe for the win. So with LaBouse getting their first 15, taking care of business against Dobbins, who was 73 on a 71 dial. That's going to bring up Kellen Farmer and James DeChacco. DeChacco, the New York-based car, 443. Backing up now gently and slowly from the burnout, trying to get those front tires back across the stripe. Kellen Farmer out of Burlington, North Carolina. It's all right. Kellen Farmer's in control of this one. He down 475 against DeChacco's 443, and it's going to be Kellen all the way. 003 dead 5 for an 8-pack. As he knocks it down, taking a 30 thou stripe. James DeChacco had the 44 bulb, tried to make up for it by going 6 thou too quick. But it's going to be Kellen Farmer after his 003 dead 5. Advancing out of the round, and that 003 going to help out a little bit for Kellen. And pretty much at this point, with 15 here, we'll be bringing 8 back, then 4, then 2. And we're going to have pretty much all of the buy runs handled right now. Not going to be any more of those odd numbers coming back. Marty Dabney, 460. Brian Reclitus, styled 453. That's Reclitus on the left side. That's Dabney on the right. And it's going to be 6 thou separating the two in reaction time. By a thou, Marty Dabney is going to get there first. He was 24 on the tree, dead 2. Taking one little one down at the stripe as Brian Reclitus had an 18 tree and goes dead on 9 to come up that 1 thou short. So Reclitus gets booted here in round number 6. And check this out. Dan Fletcher and Tim Fletcher. Both Dan and Tim have been running the right lane all day long. And I don't know if that one came down to a flip of a coin or that was Dad going, Dad just said no. That's my lane. 485 the dial in for the Dragster on the right side. Timothy Fletcher in the door car over the left side of the racetrack. 611. Oh! Dad goes red 22 thousandths of a second. And Tim Fletcher wasn't going to make it easy on Dad anyway. He was like, oh, no, you kick me out of my lane, I'm going to show you what's up. 009 dead zero for Tim Fletcher. As Dan Fletcher was red 22 thousandths of a second, so it's going to be Fletcher T. Moving on as Fletcher D, which now stands for dislocated. Will not be back in round number 7. Is Harold Bell going to get the solo shot? Bell leaves a little bit early, but on the single run, we'll worry more about being dead on 6. So we know the cars that are going to be coming back is going to be Harold Bell. It's going to be Kellen Farmer. It's going to be Barber, Tim Fletcher, Brendan George, Truitt, Dabney, and LaBouse.
Looking for high performance? Yes. Shop online now for name brand performance parts at the lowest prices. Huge in-stock selection. Your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed at the place for performance. Yes.com.
For tomorrow morning. Again, racers, keep in mind that payout window's open if you want to come up here and get that taken care of. Still looking for a couple of folks to come up here and see Sean. If you haven't done that yet, those would be Cameron Manuel, Jason Lynch, Kenny Underwood, Brian Hicks. We've got some prizes for you up here. And again, remember, we do have something that we carried over from Vegas, that swear jar, where essentially all of the
first thing that changed our whole schedule for 2017 is we wanted to move Bristol to the fall. We actually game planned for this for a long time. This is probably a good 2 years in the making.
We take our Spring Fling brand very seriously, and we don't take it lightly when we go to a new venue. And we really fell in love with the people here, and that was a big part of the reason of coming to Galot Motorsports Park.
This could put us on the map because they're so well known and well liked. Everybody in the organization is just top notch. The way they run everything is so smooth. They're just so thoughtful and good to everybody here.
The 300 racers that showed up year one, probably 75% have never been in this facility. And when you talk to those racers, they're astounded.
It's gone, I would say, much, much better than we could have ever anticipated. The staff has been friendly. They have some people that really care about the track, and it really shows.
It's amazing. I said every time you turn around, they're giving away a $5,000 gift here, a set of tires, a hood scoop.
Top to bottom, it is A-class.
As good as this facility was prepped and as good as this event went in 2017, I think a racer would be hard-pressed to miss it in 2018.
If you ever question coming, just come one time and see how it is, and I think you'll come back.
How quickly can you go from 0 to 300? I know something that can go from 0 to 300 just like that. The Jegs 3-speed blower fan goes from 0 to 300 cubic feet per minute, that is, at the flick of a switch. And with variable speeds, you can select just the right amount of blowing action you need to get the job done. Maybe you're just trying to keep cool while you're working. Maybe you need to dry out some carpet. Or maybe you need to cool off a hot part, like a clutch or a radiator. The Jegs 3-speed blower fan comes with not one, but two 15-amp grounded outlets that can be used to plug in other accessories, like this 5,000 BTU heater attachment, sold separately. That can turn the blower fan into a powerful hot air machine like me.
Here's the answer that I got. Scrapple? Well, it's kind of like, it's a process, and I'm quoting this. It's a process like Spam. It might be pork, I'm not sure. So I'm sorry, but if you ask somebody to be like, what's Scrapple? And he goes, well, it's almost kind of like, maybe it's pork. You know what Scrapple is? No? Like minced meat? Do you know what it is, Pete? So, you eat it? Really? Oh, that's right. You're a Pennsylvania boy. I forgot. Okay. So Mark Dawson says he eats it. Look, I'm sorry, but every person that I've asked up here, it starts with and then there's a pause. And with that pause, it makes me a little bit concerned. But that's kind of interesting. Mark says it's good. Pete says we should be concerned. Joanne says it's like sausage, but different. It's like sausage, but different. Something called Scrapple. I don't know. Apparently, it's a board game somebody converted into a breakfast meat. Oh, now we're going to ask Google. See what Siri has to say about what is Scrapple. If Siri responds with it's kind of like, I'm going to be like, no. Whoa. I got to read this thing exactly. So the definition on Google is scraps of pork and other meat stewed with cornmeal and shaped into loaves for slicing and frying. Nothing sounds more appetizing to me right now than something stewed with cornmeal and shaped into loaves. That is funny. That is funny. Of course, there again, being from the West Coast, kind of having a close connection to Hawaii, I do eat Spam, and I love that stuff. So I bet it's really, really similar. And so, yep, it's pretty much the same then. Oh, that's great. George describes it as juice, cornmeal, salt, and pepper. No, I am all about a little bit of Spam from now on, especially when I do get to go over to Honolulu and have a little breakfast over there. A little Spam and eggs or a little Spam masubi. Sounds like a good thing to me. Oh, Joanne says it's not at all like Spam. Really? That's going to be interesting. All right. All right, so here we go. They've been working on the ladder while we've been talking about Scrapple. And the ladder is going to go down like this. Farmer versus Truett. Farmer getting lane choice. Fletcher versus Dabney, with Fletcher getting lane choice. Barber versus Labousse. Barber's got lane choice. And George versus Bell. George has got lane choice. So Kellen Farmer versus Truitt. Tim Fletcher versus Marty Dabney. Barber versus John Labousse. And Brendan George versus Howard Bell. Those are the 8 cars that we're going to be getting back into the staging lanes. So bring those cars back into the lanes, please. Bring them back. We'll start getting everybody paired up for round number 7. Again, Farmer Truitt, Fletcher Dabney, Barber Labousse, and George versus Bell. Oh. All right. So oh. Between Peter Biondo up here in the tower and between the folks in the chat room talking about Scrapple, which, by the way, before I ever went down to New Orleans, I'd heard of things called head cheese. I'd never tried head cheese and found out that that's really good. Really good. Didn't want to see where it came from, but, you know, hey, it was worth a shot. So we've got a little bit of time. You'll eat Scrapple, but you won't try head cheese? Huh. Head cheese is, well, it's, yeah, I got the same description. Anyway, we're going to get our 8 drivers back into the staging lanes, please. Again, it's going to be Farmer versus Truitt. It's going to be Fletcher versus Dabney. It's going to be Barber versus Labousse, and it's going to be George versus Bell. And I know that they've got a little conversating to do back down there in the staging lanes. And by special request from somebody who has the power to do so, we're going to take a minute and turn our attention up to the scoreboards. Really cool. For those of you that were like admiring the scoreboards, maybe we could get the our Motor Mania TV folks to point the camera at the scoreboards just so you can see what it looks like when we do turn them on video mode. They're awesome.
It just feels amazing. I don't even know what to say.
We've been in Bristol in the spring for 8 years. We love this facility. We love the racers here, but we want to try to get in a month that was drier, and we decided to move it to the fall. We decided to present the fall fling here in September at Bristol.
Every year, no matter what, even, when I work, I have it set up, scheduled where I know the dates in advance, so I'll be here.
I've been to a couple of spring flings down at Galot and here last year. This place is amazing, and Kyle and Peter do a really good job of putting things together. It's just a great time.
Grew up racing back north, and always, a fan of racing. Just, it's a good race to come to tell you the truth. You might say this might be the new South race where we used to go Florida races and stuff. They put on a good event. They have to try it, at least experience it at least once.
Prizes is great. Always the sponsorships that people bring in, and the prizes is just awesome. I mean, it's worth running for the free drawings. Well ran, it's not drug out. They put you in the water box, you get down the racetrack. Get to the Fling, get you some prizes, get some big money.
There seemed to be a very good buzz about everyone coming to the Bristol in the fall, and here we are. We almost got 400 cars the first year, and we're super excited. We love bringing our customers to a premier facility. We're trying to bring a atmosphere to where all of our racers are racing for big money, they're having fun, and we try to give them the smoothest running event possible.
Yeah. Those scoreboards are pretty awesome, right? These guys here at Galot have got a whole lot to be proud of as far as this facility is concerned. This place is gorgeous. The facility from top to bottom is maintained to the finest. I mean, the guys down there on the dragster. I remember last year when I came out here for the first time, and I would see them stop cars to go out and pick up one rock. Like one little rock made its way out onto the starting line. They'd be like, whoa, hold on. They'd go out there with like the white gloves, dust off the walls, pick up the rocks, and they'd be like, okay, now it's perfect. You can go. But these guys are meticulous. They keep an immaculate racetrack. The facility is beautiful. The money that they spent on this place is definitely something that even from the design and the floor up here in the tower, all the way down to the little details down on the racetrack. Just a beautiful facility, and those that have not had the opportunity to come out here and race at Galot, I would definitely recommend that it's worth a trip to come out here and play along with these folks. They run an amazing, amazing racetrack, and we are definitely pleased to be out here and be part of it. Oh, and that's the other reason that I love having Mark Dawson out here. Because if there is a line to be crossed, he will have found it last week. He will find it last week, and he will make sure to remind you how far beyond the line you have gone each and every time that you hang out with him. So it is what it is. And, of course, Mike Eames, I really do wish that you could be out here with us as well, because I agree with you. Oh. But it is going to be possible. And, Tom Worthington, just to clear it up for you, the sponsors that make this broadcast possible, we can switch into kind of that, like, official voice. We'd like to thank the sponsors that have made today's broadcast possible. Thank you to Jags and Hoosier Tire for bringing you the Motor Mania TV live feed. Hoosier Tire. They're your tire. That's who. But no, it's definitely a big part of what makes the Flings possible, what makes the Flings such a big event, because even though we have a limited number of cars on property, we do get thousands and thousands of folks that do watch online. And, of course, that multi-camera feed that they do out here with Motor Mania TV, definitely looking forward to seeing them in Bristol. And, of course, that was one of the things I was looking forward to, coming out here and being part of the Bristol race one more time. But Joanne, you guys are awesome. It sounds like we're firing everybody up and heading them towards the front of the staging lanes, getting ready to go with round number 7. So I do see them rolling all the way up to the ready line, which is a good thing. Again, the pairings that we're going to be seeing here. Farmer versus Truitt, Fletcher versus Dabney, Barber versus Labuse, and George versus Bell. We get closer and closer. Oh, yeah. Lots of fun. We're going to take 8-4. One of them is going to be Brendan George or Harold Bell. So for the door car enthusiast, the door car diehard, Harold is bad to the bone, and he's your man as he's got that Shannon, North Carolina-based car dialed in at 550. Brendan George dialed in at 479. In set, gone green. Separated by 1/100th of a second. As Brendan George, 006 and dead 9. Getting to the stripe first by 19 thousandths of a second. So Brendan's going to take care of business against Harold Bell in the door car, and the Dragsters claim another victim. As Bell is going to bow out in the quarterfinals. So Brendan George on. As the next two. Door car versus Dragster. And if you're a hardcore like Dragster person, probably just sitting there thinking to yourself right now, like lambs to the slaughter. The door cars start rolling up here. John Labuse and Mike Barber. Barber in the 92 Mustang. 617 the dial in. And for John Labuse, who pretty much all day long has said it's going to run this, it runs that. And if he's saying it's going to run 460 right now, I wholeheartedly believe that that's pretty much exactly what it's going to run. So Mike Barber going to try to get a jump on the tree and see what will happen after that. 6-3 differentiate the two as John Labuse closes in, and what did we say? What did we say? 460 was the number that he predicted. He goes 4600 at 144 miles an hour after he was 14 green. Mike Barber had predicted well as well. Had a 20 light and then goes 617 on a 617. So far in Dragster versus Door Car, the Dragsters are 2 up, the Door Cars are 2 down. Now you got Kellen Farmer and Philip Truitt. And so far it has been like lambs to the slaughter for the Door Cars. So 475 the dial in for Kellen, 668 the dial in for Philip. As every matchup here is going to be Dragster versus Door Car. Maybe this one's going to go the other way. Wow. Philip Truitt was 004. Kellen Farmer was 057. Kellen was in trouble early, but Truitt took too much stripe. Took 76 thou at the stripe and breaks out 6 thou. But Truitt bows out. Kellen Farmer goes 476 on a 475 to pick up the win light. And I mean, in that pair, Farmer was nailed to the wall with Truitt holding that 004. And then Truitt just got a little greedy down at the far end of the racetrack. Kellen Farmer survives, moves on as Timothy Fletcher and Martin Dabney. Dabney, Dragster, 459. Are the Door Cars going to go 0 for 4 here? Or can Timothy Fletcher march at least one of them into the semifinals? That's 612 dial-in for the Peak Mickey Thompson and K&N sponsored Camaro over on the left side. And these two are separated by 3 thousandths of a second. Dragster's closing in fast, and Timothy Fletcher saves one. For the Door Cars, 23 green, and then 612 on a 612. He's dead on 4. Martin Dabney was 20 on the tree, and then 15 thou above the dial-in with a 60 on a 59. So by 8 thousandths of a second, Timothy Fletcher coming in with 4 Dragsters and 4 Door Cars, going out of the round with 3 Dragsters and 1 Door Car. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. So again, putting those ladders together, going to get that all done between Farmer, Fletcher, Labuse, and Brendan George. And again, kind of taking a look at everything, getting things all done. Yeah, Stephen, answer it. And Tom, just one of the door cars made it through. There were 4 coming in and 3 going out as we make our way into the semifinals. And the ladder is in just that quick. Brendan George gets Timothy Fletcher, and John LaBouse gets Kellen Farmer. Those are the final 4 cars left in. So yes, for those of you that are in the chat bleachers, you may not be able to physically approach the swear jar, but you can go on the Facebook page for Armed Forces Racing and donate there. So you will be responsible for doing that as well. And given the fact that, and I just think this is fair, you know, in many cases it's an involuntary type reaction when something happens, for us to kind of let that slip out of the mouth and, you know, we get things taken care of. But if you take the time to text it or to type it, then essentially that takes the involuntary part out of it, and now you are doing it on purpose, and on purpose I think you have to pay double. And again, it's all for a good cause. It's all to go into charity. So yeah, if you get caught in the chat room doing that, then that's double, and you got to go on the Armed Forces Racing Facebook page and donate there. That way you get it all taken care of. So again, those last 4 are going to be George, Fletcher, LaBouse, Farmer. Get things taken care of, and be back at it here in just a minute.
Mazir Enterprises is proud to be a part of the Spring Fling Million. As a family-owned business comprised of dedicated drag racers, we work hard to provide racers with the very best quality components. Win, lose, or draw, we wish each of you a happy Spring Fling race weekend from the gang at Mazir Enterprises. For 57 years, ATI has been helping sportsman racers get to the winner's circle. Bracket racing takes consistency, and you can count on that from ATI. Our advanced engineering, precision manufacturing, real-world race experience, and more than a half a century of knowledge help you turn on the win light round after round. Next time you're in the market for a new 2- or 3-speed transmission, torque converter, super damper, or parts to upgrade your current transmission, let ATI supply you with American-made quality products. ATI is family-owned, has a staff of 70 people who work out of 100,000 square feet with 30 CNC machines. And it's all done in Baltimore, Maryland. Whatever you need, ATI can help. Check out ATIRacing.com or give us a call at 1-800-ATI-3433. ATI is the choice of champions. For 25 years, Regals has been building fiberglass and carbon fiber dragster bodies and components. More than 90 leading chassis shops and builders rely on Regals for high-quality, lightweight components. Stop by Regals this week at the Spring Fling and receive a 10% discount. Ultronics Inc. welcomes you to the K&N Spring Fling presented by Optima. With over 20 years' experience, Ultronics manufactures a range of products including the weather stations, lithium batteries, and data recorders. To get to that final round, remember Ultronics. Order one now. Bell Racing Helmets are giving away 3 helmets directly to the racers here at the Spring Fling Galot this weekend. Bell offers helmets to fit all racing budgets, with helmets designed both for comfort and safety. Visit www.bellracing.com. Todd Barton Designs, creators of custom one-off designs for screen-printed t-shirts and custom sublimated crew uniforms. All products are 100% made in America. At Todd Barton Design, we make even the ugly teams look good. Drag Racing Edge magazine will be at the Spring Fling Galot covering the event daily, and we'll also have a feature in the magazine about this year's event. Thanks to longtime Fling supporter John DeBartolomeo for his continued support of the bracket racing community. At Todd's Extreme Paint, we pride ourselves on supplying a product for racers by racers. As racers ourselves, we understand the importance of giving our customers what they want, an outstanding, one-of-a-kind paint job at an affordable price and in a timely manner. Sure, there's a lot of painters out there, but few who can match our service before, during, and after the sale. Todd's Extreme Paint. Check out Platinum products here at the Spring Fling, with ramps, racks, pit mats, holders of all kinds, and their new line of pro awnings. Platinum has everything you need to organize and outfit your trailer. Top-notch, USA-made quality, that's what you'll get when you buy from Platinum Products. Collect.
All right, so here are your semifinal pairings. It's Brendan George with lane choice over Tim Fletcher. John LeBouse with lane choice over Farmer. Drivers, let's bring them up. Let's bring them up to the front of the lanes for pairings. 4 left. Let's have at it for the first big check of the weekend.
Just kind of a rush of emotions came over me. I knew it was really close, and I wasn't real sure I killed enough. Just kind of one of those where you look up at the scoreboards guessing and hoping, and when light came on, and it was just kind of a flood of emotion. I think anytime I accomplish anything big in this sport, the first thing I think of is my dad, just because he got me into it. He's been gone but whenever I accomplish something I know he would be proud of, he's always the first thing that comes to mind. This was the last thing on my bucket list, so to speak. I mean, as crazy as that sounds, I've won Indy, I've won the Jags All-Stars, like you said, won a couple of championships, accomplished more in this crazy game that I ever dreamed of. Pay off a mortgage. We're going to go enjoy the suite. I'm probably not racing tomorrow, so it's going to be good.
At our Fling events, whether it be the spring fling or the fall fling, we bring more staff than most events. We bring people that we truly believe not only are they hard workers, but they genuinely care about our customers.
With this business model Peter and I have, there's a lot of moving parts, and we try to make the best experience possible for our customers. And with all the moving parts, we need more employees than some of our competitors. And each employee has a specific task, which allows Peter and I to make sure that the race is run in a very smooth manner and gets done at a reasonable hour.
While the race is going on, everybody knows their duties, and everybody is darn good at what they know they need to do. We pre-game a lot, we pre-plan every single morning, and I think that makes a big difference.
Oh, I love it. And that's one thing about it is a friendly atmosphere, and they treat the people well. If you got questions, they have their number. Well, you can call them personally.
I don't understand why you wouldn't want to be here in the first place. You just have to experience it. There's nothing else you can say about it.
5 things you can expect coming to any of our Fling events: a fairly run race at a premier facility, fun for the whole family, outstanding customer service, the best value in bracket racing for your money, and I guarantee you'll leave with a smile on your face.
I'm starting to see a little more motion rolling out of the staging lanes headed this direction. So hopefully the conversations are going well back there. Get everything figured out between George and Fletcher, who are going to match up. LaBouse and Farmer, who are going to match up. We're down to just our last 4 here tonight. Yukon Gear and Axle, $15,000 to win Wednesday. Of course, huge thanks to Joanne and her team for the Motor Mania live TV feed, getting the folks back at home the opportunity to watch along as make our way through the first big payout day here in Galot. I do believe I'm starting to hear the motors firing up. Word from the radio is that they are headed this direction, which is a good thing. And we're going to take it down to just 2. So with 3 dragsters and 1 door car. Who's going to come out on top in this matchup? Looks like first pair out. Going to be the Kellen Farmer and John Labuse matchup, who, based on where they have appeared in the lanes throughout the day, it looks like they both got their preferred lane, as John Labuse has liked running right here in the right lane, and Kellen Farmer seems to have liked running over the left side, so Kellen dialed in at 475. John Labuse has swapped it to a 462. And again, kind of like we talked about in that last go-round, Labuse, who has been pretty dead on when it comes down to predicting what that car is going to run. Matter of fact, the last go-round predicted a 460 and went dead on 0. Kellen Farmer's been doing the same as North Carolina versus Tennessee. And 17 thou separate the two in reaction time, and Kellen Farmer gets nasty in the semifinals. Trip zip perfect on the tree, taking 2 thou at the stripe, and ends up 13 thou above. 476 on a 475 knocks John Labuse out of the game, as he's 461 on the 462 with 17 green. But that one was all Kellen Farmer with a trip zip and 2 thou down at the stripe. So with Kellen advancing, Brendan George making his way back from the burnout. We'll find out if it's going to be all dragsters or if our one lone door car can take the peak ride into the final round. With Brendan racing out of Gainesville. 478, Tim Fletcher racing out of New York. And that 427 powered 69 Camaro 612, the dial-in. Timothy, who's back in the lane that he likes on the right side. Pre-stage bulbs are lit. Fletcher starting to inch the 69 K&N and Peak sponsored Camaro into the beams. He's got the second half of the yellow bulbs lit. Brendan George is there, who's coming back to take on Farmer. They're separated by 7 thousandths of a second. Dragster's really starting to pour it on, and it's going to be Brendan George. 19 the reaction time, dead on 8, taking a 12 thou stripe. Brendan will be coming back to take on Kellen Farmer in an all dragster matchup, as Timothy Fletcher had a 12 thou reaction time and ends up 200ths above the dial-in, 614 on a 612. So with Brendan George taking a 12 thou stripe, those are the two that are going to be coming back to race for the year. And they will be back. They will be back. the final two. Brendan George and Kellen Farmer. Now it's just a matter of, now it's no longer a matter of who's going to pull into what lane. Kellen Farmer going to stick with his lane over on the left side. Going to adjust the dial 1 from last go round where he's down at 475. Going to bump it up to a 476. And Brendan George out of Florida got that 480 number over on the right side down to this with the Yukon gear and axle. $15,000 up for grabs. Yeah. Although we don't give details about the split, we are given this much. It's not much of a split. So there is a significant amount of money riding on this win light, riding on the reaction time, and riding on the stripe. The Mickey Thompson Rollins Automotive sponsored. Right out of Florida. Got the pre-stage bulb lit. Kellen Farmer trying to do it for the home state, North Carolina. In, go. Kellen is in big-time control of this one as he's going down to a 475 on a 476. Had a 29 light to Brendan George's 048. George runs down to be 100 under, but it's going to be Kellen Farmer from right here in North Carolina picking up the win tonight in the Yukon gear and axle money. Not going to go very far. It's going to stay right here within the great state of North Carolina. 475 on a 476, taking an 11th stripe, breaks out 2,000ths of a second. As Brendan George was 48 on the tree, getting there second and under 100th of a second. So Kellen Farmer going to be your winner tonight. He's going to make his way back down here in front of the grandstands to join up with family and friends and celebrate his Yukon gear and axle win. And the Burlington, North Carolina-based car is going after it. So congratulations, Kellen, picking up the win here tonight. Congratulations, Brendan George, making it all the way down to the finals. And racers, remember, we're going to start things off tomorrow morning. 8:30 a.m. as Pete had announced with our 8 a.m. as Pete had announced with our new entry time runs only based on the number of cars that we're expecting. It'll be new entry time runs only. Then we're going to get right after it with round number 1 of eliminations. On that Get 'em Garage $20,000 to win Thursday. So with Kellen making his way back down here, we've got the name written on the check. We got the trophy and the champion's jacket ready to go. We'll go down and meet him trackside to get things done.
I was 20, he was 40. Take 11. Right, it don't matter. I'll take it. Get your cleaning stuff. Hey, it don't matter. It don't matter. Thanks, man. Get in here. I appreciate it. Barry, get over here. Yeah. All right. Oh, my God. He was 40 now. Thanks, guys. Oh, my God. This is an awesome race, man. Hey. Oh, I told him I was coming home with it. Your dad's probably watching. What do you want to tell him? You want to tell your dad anything? Hey, I know what I did.
All right, that's going to work. Already got the trophy in the hands. Kellen Farmer standing down here behind the race car, and we're going to jump in here and check things out. Yukon Gear and Axle, $15,000 winner. The excitement is still. You're still breathing hard, man. You caught your breath yet?
I'm going to tell you the truth. This is the first drag race in a big car I've ever won. I've won junior races, but I've never won one in a top eliminator.
So $15,000 for your first ever win, and I tell you, I got to ask, who got you here?
Well, my dad, he really taught me everything I know about this business and racing, and all credit to him and glory to God as well. So I thank him and also my family for supporting me.
So first time winning a big car, as you've kind of been through the junior ranks. What does it mean to win kind of on your home turf, North Carolina? You see everybody coming in from all over the nation trying to get a shot at that big money, and you took it home for the home team.
I'm speechless, if you want to know the truth. I don't have any words for it. I feel great. It feels great.
Well, I'll bet it does. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your champion, the Yukon Gear and Axle $15,000 Wednesday. It's a warm-up day, and you are just getting started. You're the only guy, Kellen, the only guy going into tomorrow unbeaten.
That's right.
Congratulations, Kellen Farmer, your champ here tonight on a 15K Wednesday from Yukon Gear and Axle.
Anybody, get them all in here.
He wants everybody in here.
Get in
everybody
here.
in here.
How about that race shake? How about that race shake?
Come down this way, guys. Come down this way.
Kellen, can I just stand on the car somewhere? Oh, man. Over here smiling.
First time you're letting me see John with an iPhone. There you go. That's a big wheel out there.
Hands straight up.
Come on, Kay, bring them biceps over.
All right, right here, guys. On three. 1, 2, 3. All right, stay right there. Let me get one more. Come on, you got Brewer in there. I know you'll make some noise. All right, right here for John again. Over here. Keep arms up. Okay. Boom.
All right. Good job, man.
Thank y'all so much for putting on this race.
He won't be able to sleep.
All right, so again, congratulations, Kellen Farmer down there celebrating his first win in a big car and racers. That is going to wrap up our Yukon Gear and Axle $15,000 to win Wednesday. Again, tomorrow morning, going to get after it with the Get 'em Garage, $20,000 to win Thursday. We're going to kick things off at 8 a.m. with new entry time runs. Following new entry time runs, we'll get into a round number 1. Get after it bright and early. So $20,000 on the line. Hopefully, everybody gets a nice, good night's sleep, get a lot of rest, and be ready to go tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. when we go hot on the racetrack. So again, if you are one of the cars that rolled through are going to be a new entry tomorrow, please be up and ready to go. tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. With that, we're going to call it a good night. So be safe. If you're traveling away from the racetrack, please drive safe. If you're hanging out here tonight, have a good time. We'll see you back out here tomorrow morning bright and early for the Get 'em Garage 20K to Win Day on Thursday. Good night.
Okie dokie, that's it. Congratulations to Kellen Farmer, local guy. Isn't that awesome? And Brendan George. Brendan George did not return or whatever. They're not going to do an interview with the runner-up for whatever reason. Anyway, but yay, was a great race, great weather. Good racing. I really, really, really thought Tim Fletcher was going to pull it off, but he didn't. Oh well. Anyway, tomorrow morning, 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time, we will be live. I know we were live at 7:30 this morning, but that was my boo-boo. So anyway, I'm going to go through, you know what? I'm just going to say goodnight, okay? Love y'all. See you later. Bye.